Hello. Your girl Amber here. If you do not know me, I'm Amber Mabry, and I am the proud leader and visionary of Vision Defined Women, which is an online community where we bring visions to life. We collaborate, we connect, we hold each other accountable, we pursue our dreams, we grow spiritually, we talk about motherhood, business life, marriage life, single life, whatever. We know that together we're better off, okay? And so I just want to say thank you first and foremost to everyone who is a part of the Vision Defined Women community. If you don't know, maybe you should know, check out visiondefinedwomen.com to learn more about what we do and how it can impact you as a woman, no matter if you are in business, no matter if you are that mother with the small children who just is screaming, I need to find myself again, and you just need a sisterhood or you need support. If no matter what angle of your womanhood journey, Vision Defined Women is here for you. So please feel free to check that out now or later. But today we are going to be talking about some goodness with a phenomenal young woman that I have had the pleasure of meeting several years ago. We had worked together on one of her heartfelt projects after she lost her brother, sadly. And since then, I'm a designer. So as a graphic designer, my paths cross a lot of different lanes. Okay. And when we worked on her project, I could tell that she had a heart. I could tell that she had tenacity. I could tell she had grit. But she has such a heart of compassion and caring about other people and how she can not only better herself, but also others. And so fast forward, she now is a mom of two. And today she's going to be bringing all the nuggets, all the gems, all the knowledge that she has learned in the last several seasons of her life. And we're going to be talking about perseverance and motherhood. Okay, this talk is not only going to be good for us women. So men, if you happen to pop in, go ahead and listen in, because I'm sure some of the nuggets that will be dropped in this conversation can impact you because you have women in your life. And maybe you might see some different angles on how you can see how a woman might be feeling and thinking, as well as how you can partner with her as a father or as a co-worker or what have you. So enough with all of that. Let me go ahead and bring up the one and only Sheq Lacey. Thank you so much for being here today. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for having me.
Yes, you are welcome. I wanted to go more on and on and on because we have so many things in common, and then the way in which we've worked together. We worked on your brother's project, but then we worked together on one of your more recent projects in the last several years of you becoming a publisher. There's so many angles. I'm saying all that to say there's so many angles to me and Sheq and just her whole enterprise. And so without me going on and on, I will just have us start with you giving your own introduction. Who are you? And of course, again, there's a lot, but give us the small version of who you are, anything you would want the audience to know about you today.
Okay, so my name is Sheq Lacey. I go by Sheq, and I am an author of two children's books, Jacoby and Me and The Little Girl with the Big Name. I am also the owner and founder of Inspiring Dreams Publishing, where I offer book coaching and author services. And I also have a skincare line for babies and young children called Baby Bays Naturals. And I am a public speaker as well. In short, that is who I am.
Right. All the things, okay? All the things. If we could, I would just stop on a few of those things, but we got a lot to cover in this small amount of time. So again, thank you for being here. Our topic today is perseverance and motherhood. Now, we both have young children. I have two kids as well. And so we understand the double dutch of needing to persevere and staying the course while life continues to ebb and flow. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about your story into motherhood, and just, I guess you could also lay in, how you even got to this point in your entrepreneurial journey, which kind of catapulted out of your motherhood. You want to start there, and then we'll go through some other questions.
Yes. Okay. So my oldest son is Amir. He is 13. My youngest son is Jacoby. He is 4. And he is actually the reason everything exists. Baby Base Naturals, Inspiring Dreams, me being an author. So 4 years ago, I had went to the doctor to find out the gender of Jacoby, and when I went, they noticed something with the ultrasound was off. Long story short, Jacoby was diagnosed with a lethal form of dwarfism. I was advised by the doctors to terminate my son because his quality of life would be poor. And most babies who are born with his diagnosis, they don't end up making it. So I decided not to, of course, and I kept my baby. And as life started to happen, I realized that not only was I felt like I figured out what my purpose is, but I figured out what God's promise was to me. And as long as I was obedient to him, I feel like he just kept giving me things. And that is when I wrote the book about Jacoby and Amir having a sibling with special needs. And I couldn't find anything like it on the market. So I decided to create it myself. And same thing with Baby Bays Naturals. So Baby Bays Naturals, Jacoby had really bad eczema, and I was trying to figure some stuff out and using all of these different products and home remedies, and nothing worked. So, because of that, I ended up hiring a chemist, and we came up with a formula to help with Jacoby's needs. And it actually ended up being a formula that was able to help with other people's babies' needs as well. And then my publishing company, and Dreams is with a J because of Jacoby. I started that because I realized as I was writing my book and certain things that it was that I needed, I missed. So I wanted to be able to help other upcoming authors with their publishing needs as well. Probably just having a little bit of technical difficulties.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't know you couldn't hear me. Sorry about that. I think I
It's
had my
okay.
but what I was saying is, so basically, and I'm showcasing you and your beautiful family. I was just doing that so that people could see. It was from you getting that news that actually catapulted you into having all of these things. And I think it's very important sometimes that we understand that life doesn't always showcase where we're going to go, but it's through the living and through the processing we get there.
We
Did you
do.
plan to have businesses and books and other things prior
No.
to
I
Jacob?
I tell people all the time, entrepreneurship was never on my radar. And I mean that wholeheartedly. Like I was okay being in corporate America, moving up the chain. Like I was okay with that. And it's so funny when I think about it now because I really used to say I just want to make $100,000 a year, and it's like I can make 100,000 a month. Like what?
Mm,
But at the time, it sounds amazing, and no shade to nobody who makes 100,000 because that's amazing. But I feel like as I have grown as an entrepreneur and business owner, I'm just realizing like it's different. My goals are different. 100,000 a month for me is different with the lifestyle that I'm living now versus $100,000 as me being 25 and thinking that
yeah,
that was like
yeah. Wow. Wow. So I would say I was going to ask you, and I still want to ask you, and maybe in a different way, because you kind of explain your motherhood actually prompted you to take leaps of faith. I can't say one leap. You have taken a lot of different risks. And I'll even showcase real quick one of our other connects here. Your inspiring dreams aspect and how that came to be. We actually worked on her design together. Some time ago. And that alone, when we first connected and you started talking about your heart of helping women specifically, and I'm pausing here for a reason, um, your heart for not only the baby, but from his experience, you started inspiring dreams. Inspiring dreams came before you had baby bays, right?
It did, yes.
So it's kind of like you started with one thing. And I always say visions and dreams are like seeds in the ground. And when you start moving, the like branches growing, they just keep going on and on and on. And so even here, this website we designed a couple years ago together. When we connected and you started telling me your heart about how you wanted to empower women to tell their story, that really struck a chord with me. And of course, we were just very new in our connection, but you had a very sincere passion about making sure people knew that no matter what you're going through, no matter your background, no matter your history, that you can inspire and be inspired. And so, before we talk about baby bays and some other things, so even before you started that line and you were at this point after Jacoby came into the world, what was your main heart of why women need to get their voices heard? Why should we talk about the perseverance process? Why should we, not just hide in a corner when we get a diagnosis or when things go bad in our life, but how do we turn that for our good? Talk to me about that and maybe wrap in how has all of this connected for you? Yeah, we'll
So
start there.
I would say I think that it's important because I was that woman. You know what I mean? Like I was that person who, like, I always had something to say, but I feel like people don't feel like they're heard. With Inspiring Dreams, like, I wanted you to know that I hear you, I'm listening to you, and it's probably somebody else out here who needs to hear you as well, see you. So, being able to write a story, which my my business model has changed a little bit when it comes to Inspiring Dreams. I'm still helping people, but now I realize too is so many people who want to help our next generation of kids. So it's like I'm publishing so many children's books
Mhm,
now versus like those other stories where people to be vulnerable. But I feel like it's very important to be able to get your story out there and for people to know who you are, because like people say, our testimony isn't for us, it's to help somebody else. So
yeah,
even as I'm on a show like this and I'm talking about the things that I've been through, social media has, and not to deflect a lot, but social media has a way of making people think
mhm,
that
mhm,
life is like perfect and everything. Even I mean, if you go to my Instagram, it probably looks like I got a lot going on. I do.
yeah.
But it's a lot of
Yes,
stuff
you do. We're gonna pull it up right now. Go
it's
ahead,
a lot
keep
of stuff behind the scenes too that I have to go through, and I have to work through on a spiritual level, mentally, emotionally. Like I'm doing a lot of inner work to make that outer work look good, and that's what I want people to be more aware of. And everything isn't just capping. Like some people do post and it's like, oh, that looks good, and they close their laptop, cut off their phone, and they hate their life. I really love my life, and I'm really blessed to live the life that I live. And just from me writing that story and starting this company, it has literally changed the trajectory of my life.
Mm. Wow. And I know that even though we're connected directly, so there's some inside I know, but like you said, on the outside looking in, everybody do think, oh, she out here, oh, and you are. But the reality of it is you're persevering. You are
Mm-hmm.
persevering through so many things. And so I'm gonna just stop sharing on that. And actually, let's get into some other questions because we do want to deep dive into what does this perseverance look like. Okay, let's talk about the obstacles. What are some of the biggest obstacles that you face as a mom with dreams, especially with having a specially able, we like to say specially able child, and all that it took, because for some time there was even some seasons where you weren't even sure if Jacoby was going to be able to continue living, but still
Mm-hmm.
you got through a place where you were like able to reach not only the ceiling but bust through it, dealing with home life, right? As moms, sometimes our business life is one thing, but home life be a whole nother thing. How do you overcome? So talk about the biggest obstacles and then give us a tidbit on how do you overcome? How do you bust through those obstacles?
So I think for me, and not to sound super cliche, but my faith has played a major, major, major part in the reason I'm able to do the things that I do. I'm not saying that I don't have obstacles. If I had a biggest obstacle, it would be time. I think that would be my biggest obstacle because I wish I had more time in a day because I do so much stuff. I don't always have the time to put in everything that I want to do at that time, from, speaking, hanging with my friends, like doing the stuff for my business. Sometimes I'm taking in so much information, like just this week alone. I really didn't feel like talking on the phone. I didn't feel like doing nothing. I didn't want to hear other people's problems. Like, because I take in
Mhm,
so much information.
mhm,
So I
mhm,
would say my biggest obstacle um is time. And as far as like to reaching my dreams and with motherhood, if I'm being honest, like I'm selfish with me and I'm selfish with my dreams, and I
mhm,
love my kids. I do. I adore my kids. My kids are the reason that I do a lot of the things that I do, but for me personally, I put me first every time. Like, if I'm making a sacrifice, the sacrifice also has to make sure that it's something that's not hurting me.
mm,
And
that's
that,
good.
I know a lot of parents, it's not easy for them to do that. But my mom told me when I had my son, the very soon as I became a mother, she said, make sure you take care of you. She was
Mm,
a single mom of four. So
mm,
we was walking around looking good. And my mom was, she wasn't dressed to tip top like she had us dressed. So when she told me that, anytime I bought Amir something, I bought me something every time. And I still
mm,
do it. And I've been a mom for 13 years. If my kids getting something new, I am too. Even if it's something small, but we're all walking around looking good. And that's just something that I learned early. So for me as a mom, I love my kids. I just make sure like I got to be good first. Like, if I'm not good and I'm putting my dreams on hold because of being a mom, like, what am I, like, that's a disservice to my kids and myself. My son
mm,
tells me often how proud of me he is because he sees the things that I do. And I'm a single mom. I take care of my kids by myself with my nursing staff for Jacoby, but it's just me. And I do also have an amazing village to help me as well. But I personally don't believe in putting my dreams on hold because of my children. My son was in a hospital and I was writing a book.
mm.
I didn't even know when he was coming home. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Somebody who is near and dear to me, her name is Lo. She always says duality exists, and it does, because I do it.
Wow. So this is a reminder for every mama in the room. Daddy's too. Don't forget about you, baby. So I want to, and I mean, I'm not just saying that in a cliche or fun form, but it is something that we constantly sometimes need reminders of because we do naturally put specifically our kids, and if you're married, your spouse, and all these things in front of you, until the point where some of us, you only take care of you when your health go down or you get in an accident. Something has to shake you up
Mm-hmm.
every time to make sure you take care of you. And my mom also always make sure you take care of you. I'm very good, just like you. And I think we are also in the same place in regards to this time thing, especially because we're both creatives, right?
Yeah.
Creatives, especially if you're creative, you have abilities and you have vision and resources. It's like anything you really want to do, you know, you could do it. It's just, and then you trying to fit it all in. But I will segue there and jump right into my next question because you kind of start going into it. I want us to dive a little bit more because women, we are challenged with prioritizing ourselves. We really are. And I don't know, I know we're nurturers, most of us by nature. We care for people sometimes more than we care for ourselves. I can't say that's me, but a lot of people, she is like, it ain't me, honey.
Not me. Lord, pray for my husband.
Pray for your husband, yeah, yes. Well, at least you can be able to meet him and tell him this is who I am, right? That's sometimes, don't get me on a marriage tip. That's all. You gotta speak, you gotta say what it really is. You know what I mean? I really know how to take care of myself. Men should like that about a woman. I really do have thriving businesses and I plan to have them continue to thrive with or without you, you know. But let's not go down that path because I'll just be gone. What's your message to women and moms who do, and grandmamas who do everything for everyone and they don't have that viewpoint that you have of yourself? They often forget themselves. What's your message to them today?
Ooh, let's see. No, because
Say it the way you feel it.
Because you know when something comes naturally to you, like sometimes when you're trying to like put it out there for somebody else, it's kind of hard. Listen. Issa Rae said it's me season. Like, it's okay for it to be about you. One of my best friends, she used to be sad when her son left, but when he was home, she would be like, I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. Like, girl, if you don't celebrate when that baby leave and have a good time and take care of yourself, and now she's having fun, she's living her life, and I love that for her. Like, think about it like this. These people are going to leave you one day. Like your kids, they're going to leave the house. I feel like if you revolve everything just around them, like who are you outside of being a mom?
Come on. Like,
who are you outside of being a wife? Who are you outside of being a grandmother? Like, you have to have something inside of you to know who you are. Like, I go out to eat by myself. Like, I do a lot of stuff by myself, but that's because I really love me. Like, I'm a good time. Like, why wouldn't I want to kick it with me?
Come through.
So that's my message, is just realize, like, at the end of the day, like, again, I have amazing friends, I have amazing family, but like, it's just me. So I have to love on me how I love on others. Like, if you're not filling your cup up and you're steady pouring from it, then like you're going to be empty. Then you're really not going to like yourself.
Yeah.
And that's a horrible thing. I just seen one of a celebrity talking about how she has to be strong because everybody is falling apart around her. Wow. No, ma'am. I need to fall apart right now, and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. Like, and I'm not Superwoman. That's the other thing. Women, it's okay. Even when people tell me like you're so strong or you're like, I am not Superwoman. I don't have a cape at all. Like, everything that I do, I don't sleep like a normal person. That's not okay. Like, I'm up hours. Like, I stay up for 24 hours sometimes, which is weird. I don't drink coffee or do drugs. I'm just up. Like, I'm just awake.
Self-wired. That's what it is. You are self-wired.
Yes. Yeah, so I just want to say it's okay. You don't gotta be Superwoman. Like, love on yourself. Like, love you. Don't love you when it's too late, because a lot of people do that.
That's so good. I love the fact you said I'm not Superwoman. I think sometimes it's a challenge to just be vulnerable, to say that not only to yourself, but to others. Now, I personally have grown a lot in this area over the years. I think business for me has definitely made me put boundaries in place, that I am not doing certain things like working on my weekends, with the exception of, certain projects or something that go over, but it's not a given that you can just reach me. Like, putting boundaries in place. And I would even throw in a few nuggets that might be supportive to any other woman who's like, well, y'all saying, I should take care of myself, but I have all these things. My quick tips is make sure you can analyze and recognize when your plate is too full. Don't try to do everything in every season. So, for instance, I know myself, like you, we do multiple things, but I'm not doing everything every day. There's different times that I'm doing these different things.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little bit more organized with the time you do have. Sit and do some time management. Recognize like the times you have to really go all in and the times you don't. Set a boundary on what you can do and be honest with yourself. Check in with yourself. Like, seriously, I don't know about you, Sheq, but sometimes I'll just ask myself, Amber, how you doing today? We pour out to so many people all the time that we don't
All the
even
time.
self-check. We don't even build a personal relationship. And that's one of the things I like about you, Sheq, is that over the years and even more recent, your confidence and your self-esteem is so strong, is so solid, at least that's what we receive on the outside. That's your
Mm-hmm.
brand is showing up. Okay. And sometimes that takes time. One of the things that to me showcases some of this confidence I'm talking about is when we have had our own conversations and you said something that I have always felt even before being a mom and a wife. I have always had this personal self-confidence. Now not everyone's in the same place, and if you're not in that place, this is not a negative thing, but we're saying and we're showcasing you can elevate your mind and such. One of the things you said is I'm a mom, but not only a mom. And I
Mm-hmm.
just was like, she gets it. When I think of this, I am saying that mom is a big part of my life, just like being a wife is, but it's not the only thing. And sometimes people get a bad rap when people hear that because they're thinking that people are trying to put their family under other things. What's your take on that? I'm a mom, but not only a mom. When you say that, what is Sheq saying? Talk.
I'm saying that I'm a Sheq Lacey. Like, I am a Sheq Lacey. A Sheq Lacey is an author. She is a businesswoman. She's a friend. She's all of these other things too. So why would I not nurture those things and nurture myself like I do my children? Like, all of these things make it's an umbrella to me.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, the umbrella and mom falls under that category, but I don't know. Like, I hear people say, "Oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get even my mom. I'll use my mom. My mom was a great mom. My mom, she was a young mom. She made so many sacrifices for us. And after my little brother got his braces, she was like, "Well, once he graduates, I'll get my braces." Like, no, get them now. And she still didn't get them. And I'm just like, "Mom, like I would that could that I me personally, I would have been like, "Oh, you're getting braces, me too." Now, if it was the financial piece to it, it's like, all right, well, when yours is off in 18 months, it's my turn.
yeah,
Like, because of financially. But my mom, she did. I'm sure it's a lot of stuff. My mom, I think she said she wanted to be a nurse or a doctor at one point, and she just didn't pursue it because she was a mom and she had to take care of us, and it was just her. And when I think about that and I think about my situation, now my oldest son's father is incarcerated. Like, I'm going to be raising him by myself until he's 18 when his dad comes home. And even that is just like,
wow.
it's not enough for me to not still like because he just has me. I have to be he has to see me doing the things that I want to
Come
do.
on.
He has to see that. Like, my son would never, if somebody asked Amir, "Who is your mom?" I'm sure he would say a great list of things. He would probably be like, "I mean, she's my mom, but she does a whole lot more stuff than just be my mom." Like, my 13-year-old would say that because he knows, like, my mom is really out here
Yeah.
doing everything she said he would do. Because if anybody sees the hustle
Come
or
on.
the grind, it's these two kids in my household. Now,
Yeah.
Jacoby, he watching Motown Magic. He probably don't care. But Amir, he sees it. He sees my whiteboard of priorities. Like when you set the priorities, I don't work on Inspiring Dreams and Baby Bays on the same days. I'm
Mhm.
two different people in those businesses, you know? So I can't put my brain together and work on both of those businesses on the same day because they require two different sides of me. So I
Wow.
feel like it's the same with like, I'm just not a mom. Like,
Wow. Now, on that same note, go ahead and talk to us about, or just even encourage any other woman who might be watching who's like, I want to get there. And
let me tell
again, like you
you.
said, it's your natural. And I sometimes am challenged here too. I'm just naturally on a certain way. So when somebody asks you, it's just like, this is just my given. But if you had to try to encourage another woman or give advice on how to get to this place where you esteem yourself, I don't know if that maybe that's a word I'm trying to say. You esteem yourself, you respect yourself, right? Enough
Right.
to say, you know what? I'm not going to put me on the back burner every time. Talk to her. And I got to get my
So
other mouse.
I,
So
I,
keep
I
going.
okay. So I think for me, even if I was talking to younger me, because of course, like who I am now, like at 33, I haven't always been this person. I had to learn to also love me and also learn to understand my worth. I've been through heartache. I was in a horrible relationship. To me, yeah, it was very horrible. And I did put myself on the back burner. I allowed myself to like care for this person more than I actually care for me. Like that
Wow.
person's happiness was like, oh, I wanted acknowledgement and I wanted all of this stuff from somebody. And one of my favorite people, Tia, had to tell me, like, why are you seeking validation from somebody who isn't even valid? And I'm like,
Oh.
you know what? Like now today, like 2023, like I'm valid. I'm valid because I validate me. Like I don't need nobody else to validate me. Even if I wasn't who I was, like I'm still going to validate myself. So I feel like it's a journey either way it goes. Like I am this woman now who like I don't play no games. You can't play in my face. You can't say what you want to say to me. But I went through stuff to be her.
Yeah,
You
that
know
part.
what I mean? Like I some people it's natural because they're born with it. And I'm still not I'm still it's still certain areas where I probably could do a little better, but who I am today, I went through the heartache. I went through not knowing if my child was going to live. You know what I
Mm,
mean? I went through friends being backstabbers. Like I went through being betrayed. And it was just certain stuff. Like I wear my heart on my sleeve, you know? So
mhm.
everything that I feel, my vulnerability and who I am is real. Like I'm I'm not one of them people where it's like, oh, you got to get to know her. Like, if you met me and we spent more than 2 hours together,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
probably know what type of person I am because I don't have a facade. What you get with me is what you get with me. I'm never going to be like, oh, you got to really know her to like her. Like, no, you're going to like me because I like you and I respect you and I treat you with that. And I pour into every person I meet. My goal is to leave an impact with every person I encounter. I don't want to influence anybody to do anything. I want to impact you to be and do whatever you want to do.
Yep.
So I would say that like we all got to go through the motions just and feel the stuff. Like I
Mhm.
feel everything. I'm not millennials, we got this thing where we're supposed to like not care, but we really do care. Like, no, if I care, I'm gonna tell you I care. Like
Yeah.
I feel all the feels that I need to feel in order to get through them. And I think that's important. Stop saying you don't care when you care. It's okay to care.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I allow myself to do that. You know, like I allow myself to care. I allow myself to be vulnerable and I take accountability
Come
for what
on.
I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though I say this relationship that I was in was horrible, I still got to take accountability for what I put into that
Come on.
relationship and what I allowed and certain stuff and even in life. So accountability is also something like, no, you know what? I didn't know my worth. I didn't love me. You got to admit that to
Come
yourself in order
on.
to grow from it. And that's something that I do daily. I have to feed myself, rather that's reading the Bible, rather that's what I'm allowing myself to hear, what I'm allowing myself to see. It plays a major part in the person
Major.
that you see today in me. I didn't wake up like this. I worked for this.
Come on. I worked for it.
I
Put
did.
the work in.
I
We
really
could just
did.
end
I
right
worked
there. Put
real
the
hard.
work in. Perseverance process means put the work in. Okay. What you seeing is not what you seeing by happenstance or coincidence. She putting the work in. And that's what I love is like when we can be vulnerable to say, hey, yo, it's not what it is. And or like you said, that accountability piece, hey, this happened because of this, but you know what? I grew through that. I'm about to mature and I'm about to level up. Like, I love all of it. So, I wanted to ask something else, and you kind of talked about it, but let's talk about this real quick. Your mind and also your spiritual growth. And this is not on our script, but your spiritual growth in the last season of your life, how that has impacted where you are now. Can you share a little bit about that?
My heart started beating so fast when you said that, because it's like me and God really locked in. So, um, whew. So let me just say, I believe wholeheartedly that when you have a vision and when you see something so clear, and I tell people all the time, when it comes to baby bays, when it comes to inspiring dreams, I literally can see what it's going to be. And even my life, I can see it like I've already lived it because I know that God gave it to me. So
Mm,
every day I get up and I go for it. Every day. It's not a day that goes by that I'm not feeding into what He gave me. And my pastor, she said something to me that was so powerful. And it was just something that I know I have to continue to stay in my humble bubble as much as possible, because she reminded me, she said, it's for your benefit. It's your benefit, but it's for His glory. And that's why any
yes.
time that I'm talking about anything that is related to my businesses, I bring God up, because like I said at the beginning of this conversation, I never ever thought I would be an entrepreneur. It was never something that I intended to do at all. Everything that I have and everything that I do is because it's something that He's seen in me, and I refuse to be disobedient.
Come on.
And not like how somebody going to give you this plate and make it so beautiful and set the table, and for me to just be like, nah, I thought I wanted it, but I really don't. Like, even it's challenging as I'm growing. I never thought I had haters, because again, I just don't like to think about that. I like to be happy for everybody. But
Right.
somebody
Me
did
too.
come for me. They said the reason I have my stuff is because of my son. And I'm like, but in a hateful way.
Mm,
And it was just like, yeah, I know. Like, I already know that. Are you saying this to like as a shot? Because that's not a shot. I acknowledge, like I did at the beginning of this conversation, January 17th, 2019, a purpose and promise was made
come
to me.
on. Come
And
on.
because of that, I still had to do the work, regardless of my son being here and him
Wow.
being the reason for the reason everything was started. That has nothing to do with the work I had to put in to make it
Come
happen.
on. Come on.
None of it.
Come on.
So for me, it's impacted my life in such a major way, because I move different. Like, I don't I I don't stress. Like, business is not easy. And if anybody is watching this and y'all are entrepreneur, you know it's nights where you're still trying to figure it out. Money, marketing, all of this stuff plays a huge
All
part.
the
But because
things.
I know, like, this, my heart knows what the promise is. Like, I can't stress about something God already took care of. Why
Hmm.
would I stress about me not having money right now, when I know it's a multi-million dollar company? I'm
Hmm.
not about to stress about this right now, because clearly it's going to work, because it's already $1 million company.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
Come
it's
through.
just my mindset has shifted in such a major way. Um, because when somebody tells you something and you see what a real miracle is, which I wake up to one every single day, when you see that and you know that the way that you move is different. I know it sounds cliche when I say I don't have bad days, but I mean that. I have bad moments in a day.
Mm.
Like, why would I give this whole day a bad day for a moment?
Come
Yeah,
on.
I'm gonna feel it for that moment and then I move on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we
Mm-hmm.
even talked about that too. I heard somebody else I admire, Mia Ray. I don't panic, I pivot. Like, why
Mm-hmm.
would I panic right now when all I gotta do is just a quick shift? Like, okay, let me just. I thought I was
Come
supposed to go this
through.
way, but
Okay.
clearly I need to go to the left, and I'm gonna make this left side do exactly what I needed to do because the right side wasn't working for me. So it's just it's hard. I guess it's easier said than done, but with I just said this on another thing, practice makes progress. So when you keep doing something, it's easy. When I get in my feelings about something, I'm like, all right, now let's be real. Is this really worth you feeling like this about? And then I just
Snap out of it. Mind shift.
it's
Yeah.
just like a snap. And it's like, once you can do that, y'all, I promise you, like, life just gets easier. And again, life is not perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. Like, I'm not perfect. I just really have learned to make life work for me. Like, why am I working for life?
Yeah.
Like, let's
Wow.
let life work for me. Like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. This is the type of day that I want myself to have. Like, it's all about your thought process. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. That's it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the only reason I'm where I am today. And without me having the relationship I have with God, having the people that I have with me, it said, what's more important, the destination or the journey? Somebody said the company, and I felt that.
Mm.
I felt that. Watch who you have around you. Like,
Come on.
any woman that's around me, any man that I decide to have around me, best believe that they have something. They have something that's
Yep.
feeding into me.
Right.
What are we doing?
Right. Right.
And I should be doing something for them too. It should be transactional. As crazy as it sounds, it
Yep.
still should be. Amber should be able to call me like I can call Amber. Like, it shouldn't just be like, Amber, I need this, I need that. Like, dang, can I get something from you too?
Right.
Like,
Right. Right.
so I
Did
just
that dually. So I mean, yeah, for sure.
it's just, you know,
Wow.
that's my
Wow.
thing.
I hope y'all picking these gems and these nuggets that's just dropping everywhere and that you're gonna actually activate them. One thing you said, and I'm gonna pivot real quick because we were almost out of time. Scripture came to mind when you were speaking. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As a man, that means whatever we think about, whatever we magnify in our brain, that's what we become. So what I'm hearing from you is that over time you have learned to recite and meditate on the truth that, you know what, I am going to allow this day to be what it's going to be because I said it. I'm going to acknowledge
Mhm.
how I feel more than what my needs are and put them in priority more than letting somebody else do that. And that gives you your power back. And I love it because I'm always speaking those same messages to myself and people I coach and work with. It's like, hold on, if you don't believe, why you expect somebody else to believe? If you don't think your product is good, if you're not going to talk about your awesomeness, or you intimidated or scared or
Mhm.
insecure continuously to talk on the good that God is giving you, why should you expect somebody else to do so? So thinking is very important. Last few things. Let's talk about this awesome product line. And I am going to screen share a few things while you're talking.
Mhm.
But talk to us about your product line, your brand, and then what you're currently working on, how people can kind of partner with you or learn more about you, all of that jazz.
So, Baby Bay's Naturals is my all natural skincare line for babies and young children who suffer with eczema, dry skin, and sensitive skin. So, when I started Baby Bay's Naturals back in 2020, again, it was because Jacoby's skin was super duper horrible. So, I needed to come up with something that could help him. And I actually just graduated from an accelerator program called the U, and I came in second place for our pitch competition. And I realized as I went through this program what Baby Bays actually is. Baby Bays is a special brand for special babies. The representation for special needs children in the skincare industry is very low. So with Baby Bays, I plan on changing that. If you don't notice, there's a pattern. I see problems. I also come up with solutions
Come
because
through.
what are we complaining about if we're not trying to fix it? I'm just saying. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, so with that, that is something that I am doing now with Baby Bay. So with our diapers and our wipes and our campaigns, I want representation to be in it. And I don't want people to be like, oh, that brand that puts babies on special needs kids on diapers. Like, nah, let's normalize seeing somebody with a trach on a pack of diapers.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make this normal that you actually, it's not something that you have to point out because again, it's something that we should be seeing. So our products are for that eczema, the dry skin, the sensitive skin. Even as you can see, her showing our lip scrubs, we have our lip balm, which is one of our MVPs.
And it is good. We use it over here in the Mabry household. My son be like, I need some of that scrub stuff.
Yes, but sadly enough, I've actually taken that off of our thing.
Oh,
But
okay.
sometimes, I said you got to pivot
Yeah.
because
No,
as
I
the
know.
brand
That's
is
how businesses
growing,
do.
it's like when you think about it and you realize it as I'm seeking investors and people to pour into it, I need them to understand what Baby Bays Naturals really is. And if I'm talking to babies and this is what I'm trying to help, then they need to see that specifically. So you can shop with Baby Bays Naturals at jacobyandmebook.com and purchase some items, but best believe when I say it will be in a Target near you soon and
Woo,
other
woo, 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 woo.
retail stores. Don't ask when, because again, I've seen it happen, so I know it's going to happen, but I just don't know the exact date. But y'all just be on the lookout for that.
I love it. I love it. You are doing a phenomenal work, and this is the star of the show. Woo, 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 woo.
That
Get
is
it, Kobe.
Kobe.
Get Kobe in the house.
Yes, that is, and that's why it's Baby Bays also, because some people, I don't know, they just assume Bays is like wordplay, but Bays is actually my son's last name, so that's why it's Baby Bays.
Oh, I love it. You have been doing some phenomenal work, and I just personally want to say congratulations on all you have done, all that you are doing. I have watched and been a part of the journey through some of the design and marketing, and just as a friend, I'm just so happy for you and the full progress. I mean, to just decide I'm going to do. I remember the conversation with she. I'm going to do some product line. I was like, hold on, wait, what are you going to do? What? Now I didn't know she's going to go hire people to make the products, package it, do all. Like she really went for it. Okay, she
With
really,
with
really.
knowing nothing though, like let me be clear, even this one right here, as y'all can see what she has on the screen. First of all, I've come so far in just the 2.5 years. It was a spelling typo on the labels. I did this photo shoot by myself. Like
Come through.
when I tell you evolution, and just like now I hired somebody to do my photo shoot. I shipped all
Come
my
on.
products to Texas. Everything looks amazing, but start where you're at. That's the
Come
thing.
on.
Like, and do it scared. I had no idea, y'all. I was in the kitchen mixing and measuring. Like, I'm not a chemist, but I became one. Now I make my own formulas. Like, so it's just do it scared and do start where you are. Like, just start where you are. You don't have to have a lot to start. Like, I literally did not have a lot when I started. This was my first reel. TikTok trash. When I tell you now, I can make it look like something. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea. But I don't know. I truly believe in myself. I believe in the
You
vision
do.
that was given to me. And I do want to say something that I seen the other day that was super dope. Um Kobe Bryant had told another basketball player, he was like, people say don't put all your eggs in one basket. He was like, but all you got to do is get more eggs. Like,
Mm.
that's all we got to do. So even if I was to put all my eggs in baby bays and they're like, are you sure this is what you want to do? Guess what? If it wasn't right, all I got to do is get some more eggs and choose a different basket. Like, it's okay. You can't lose. Like, I can't lose. I don't know about you, but
We
losing,
ain't losing.
like, I can't. I
But that
can't.
mindset is everything. Before you can do anything, you got to get the mindset. So I want to even talk about that real quick, and we're going to close up. The mindset is everything. If y'all don't get anything else from this lady's message right now, is the mindset to persevere through all she's went through, not only with being a single mom, having a specially abled son, having just all the different things that she's already shared. It's the mindset that has that bounce back. You bounce back because you're resilient. And of course, the foundation is God. I ain't gonna lie. The foundation is God, because he gives you something, he gives you the motivation to do it, and you're open to following him. Man, it's not that it's easy, but it does, it's different. I'll just say it's different. And you are persevering over and over and over, and just winning what was the award?
Which oh, the pitch competition?
The pitch competition, but there was something else you won.
That y'all know it's crazy when you don't
Okay,
even.
she don't know. She in all kind of stuff. She don't even remember all the things. But just to be out here, just persevering and excelling and having the mindset that I can and I will. I
Yeah.
mean, the resilience, that's maybe another word I was trying to throw out. You are resilient. And it is my hope that any person, man or woman, child, will see this replay, will share this replay, because we all need inspiration. And you've been an inspiration to me to just keep going, even in my days where I'm like, I don't know. It's like, hold on, wait, look at Sheq. Okay, let me get up, let me get myself going. And I'll even say that when you said do it scared, I want to also echo that, because a lot of times people are sitting on the sideline of their life because they're just scared. And being scared is a natural emotion, but you got to jump over that. You got to move forward. If not now, when? And for a lot of people, things never come up in their life. They never are able to get these new doors and new opportunities like what you share, because they won't do the work. They stay in the scared bubble or the scared box without recognizing, you can't open the door. You can at least try. And so I just want to applaud you for all you have done and are doing, because I know there's some newness coming. May you continue on your race, and you empower so many people, the youth. You're in the schoolhouse now doing the book thing. So just keep going. Any final thoughts that you want people to think about as we wrap up our conversation today?
Talk to yourself nice. Like, the way you talk to yourself, like, I do it with my friends a lot, and I hope it's not annoying to them if you're watching. But I don't like if statements. I like when statements, because I feel like if is just like, well, if and maybe, like, no, like, I really say this is going to happen. Like, my friends will call me and be like, can you say this? Because when you say it, it happens. And it's true. I the power of your tongue is real. And when you just make if statements, it's like maybe I will, maybe I won't. But if you're like, when I do this, when I make this happen, when I get in Target, when I sell out, when I'm speaking in front of 40,000 people and everybody is there to listen to me talk, like that, talk to yourself nice, give yourself grace. It's some days I don't feel like doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And for me, I don't know, I'm crazy, because I'm just like, get up and do it. So I know somebody asked me one time, who holds you accountable? I said, me. Like, because I'm Miss Accountability. I'm like, did you up? Well, you should have listened when I said, like, I told you.
Yeah.
But I hold myself at this really high standard, because what God gave me, I can't play with it. So I have to hold myself accountable. I have to talk to myself nice. Even on a hard days, I have to remember why I started, why it was given to me, and who I'm helping along the way. When people, even like Amber, she was a huge inspiration to me. Like, it's so many people who inspired me. When people talk about how amazing I am, I have to give the people credit that I have around me who make me amazing. Like, I'm the woman I am because of the women I surround myself
Yep,
around.
yep,
And I
yep.
just want to make that very clear. I'm glad I inspire people, but best believe I have people who inspire me to want to inspire you.
Yep,
And
yep.
that right there is just that's enough. And I'm honestly humbled, and this is a full circle moment, because again, if y'all knew where this relationship with just her and where it started and who I was then, and just a lost 20 something year old trying to understand and figure out, and it makes me emotional. And I'm not going to cry on here because I'm just not, but it does make me so emotional because I really was not always this person, but I knew that when I was given this chance to be her, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to, I say it all the time, I'm going to change the world. And I know I'm going to change the world because the one person I inspire is going to inspire somebody else, and they'll inspire somebody else, and then it just keeps going. So, I'm just humbled, I'm thankful, and I just want to tell anybody who's watching this, like, one, do it scared. Don't give up on yourself, and even when it looks hard, just keep going, because like once you push through that hard part, it's like
Mm,
ice skate, like you just be gliding, because now you know how to dodge the other
yeah,
and the
yeah.
distractions and all of that stuff. So just, I'm proud of you, even if you nobody told you, because sometimes we need to hear that.
Yep, yep. It's so good, man. So good. Just keep going. I say it's Thrive season. So if you believe it, jump into it. This has been phenomenal. I'm going to drop up her contact information again, Inspiring Dreams. And Baby Bay's Natural. Go follow her on IG, buy the book, try the products. They really are good. I'm not just saying that. They really are
No, they're
very,
really good, and
very,
I'm not just
very,
saying that
very
either.
good. So, on behalf of myself and the Vision Defined Women community, thank you so much for being a part of this awesome platform and our podcast episode today. This was amazing.
I loved it, thank you.
And for everyone, stay tuned. We will have some newness coming up in a very, very near future. Please check out inspiringdreams.com. I'm going to drop up our website real quick as well. Too many buttons. Visiondefinedwomen.com. If you are looking for a place to grow, share your story, we have an author's book loft that we're going to be launching really soon. We have some speed networking. We have some challenges coming up. We invite all women to be a part of what we are developing here online, because we really do need each other. And what I love, every time I have conversations or even do things like this, you always learn something new. And no matter where life takes you, we should always become more and more open to learning and open to sharing. Okay, so without saying much more, thank you again for your time today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye bye.